Hello, everyone. Since Mr. Trump returned to the White House, he has repeatedly mentioned Greenland and insisted that Greenland must belong to the United States. Trump has said this many times, and just recently, he once again affirmed his determination that the U.S. will acquire Greenland. So, what does America want Greenland for? Why doesn't the U.S. spare even Denmark, its ally? Let's find out together. First, why is Trump so obsessed with Greenland? There are four main reasons. One, national security and geopolitics. Trump once stated emphatically that controlling Greenland is absolutely necessary for America's security and the freedom of the entire world. While that might sound like the opening line of an invasion campaign, let me explain how serious he is about it. Greenland isn't just a white, snowy island where Trump wants to build an ice palace. It's in a super strategic location, right in the middle of the Arctic, like a bridge between North America and Europe. From there, the U.S. can oversee the entire Arctic Ocean, an area where Russia and China are becoming increasingly active. More importantly, Greenland is home to the Pituffik Space Base, formerly Thule Air Base, a military gem from the Cold War era. It's located in northwestern Greenland, 200 km from the Arctic Circle, and is equipped with the most advanced radar systems for detecting long-range ballistic missiles. Think of it as a super-sensitive Eye of Sauron for spotting any surprise attacks from Russia or others. Additionally, it has satellite tracking systems to monitor every satellite orbiting the skies. According to the U.S. Air Force, Pituffik is a critical part of the National Missile Defense System. In 2023, the U.S. even poured another $1 billion into upgrading it. Meanwhile, Russia has ramped up its presence in the Arctic with dozens of nuclear submarines. According to NATO's 2024 report, Russia's military activity in the Arctic has doubled compared to a decade ago. China doesn't have military forces in the Arctic, but it's eyeing economic projects, like turning the Arctic into a new polar Silk Road. If the U.S. doesn't secure Greenland, Russia and China could roam freely in the Arctic, and this region is now crucial. Melting ice could open up shipping routes that are 40% shorter than traditional routes. According to the Arctic Institute, Trump understands just how important Pituffik is. Losing Greenland would mean losing that eye, and without it, the U.S. would be vulnerable to attacks. 2. Natural resources? Greenland isn't just snow and polar bears. Beneath its surface lies a massive treasure trove of rare earth elements, gold, oil, and gas, all the kinds of resources that make nations drool. Rare earths are critical for making electric vehicle batteries, smartphones, airplanes, and missiles. In short, all the advanced tech. Right now, China controls 70% of the world's rare earth supply, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The U.S. depends heavily on China for this. Relying on your biggest rival in a tech war is dangerous. So, Trump wants to cut those ties. After Venezuela, now it's Greenland's turn. Greenland is estimated to have around 38.5 million tons of rare earths, enough for the U.S. to become self-sufficient and still have leftovers to trade. It also has uranium, with reserves of around 500,000 tons, and gold, especially in southern Greenland, where new veins discovered in 2022 could yield 300,000 ounces of gold per year. Oil and gas, also abundant, up to 17 billion barrels offshore, according to Greenland's government in 2021. To Trump, owning Greenland would both enrich America and reduce dependency on China. In a 2019 interview, he said the U.S. couldn't let other countries control something so vital. Put simply, Greenland is like a safe full of wealth, and Trump wants to crack it open to make America richer, stronger, and more independent. 3. Territorial expansion. Trump loves big things. Acquiring Greenland would be a way to put his name in American history books. He once described buying Greenland as the greatest real estate deal. Looking back, the U.S. bought Louisiana from France in 1803 for $15 million, doubling its land size. Then, in 1867, the U.S. bought Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million. Alaska later turned out to be a gold and oil mine. Trump figures, if past presidents could pull that off, why not him? If he succeeded, future generations would never forget the name Donald Trump as the man who added Greenland to America. In August 2019, he publicly proposed buying Greenland, shocking the world. In December 2024, he reiterated that owning Greenland was absolutely necessary, saying, "We're working on making it as grand as possible." He wants to leave a legacy, like One day people open a map and see Donald Trump, the one who expanded America with Greenland. But reality didn't match the dream. Denmark, which governs Greenland, flat out rejected the idea. The Danish Prime Minister in 2019 called it absurd, and Greenland's leaders declared, Greenland is not for sale. 4. Countering Russia and China. The Arctic is no longer just a frozen wasteland where people go looking for Yetis or buried UFOs. Climate change is melting ice, turning it into a hot geopolitical zone. Melting ice opens up new sea routes that are 40% shorter than the Suez or Panama Canal, per the Arctic Council. It also reveals natural resources: oil, gas, and rare earths. Trump is alarmed because Russia and China are rushing to stake claims. Russia isn't playing games. It has a full Arctic fleet with over 40 nuclear submarines, patrolling to assert control over the Northern Sea Route, a path to transport oil and gas to Europe and Asia. China doesn't have troops in the Arctic, but it's playing the soft power game. In 2018, it tried to sponsor 3 airport projects in Greenland, only for the US and Denmark to step in and block it. Trump sees Greenland as a strategic pivot point to stop both Russia and China. If the US had Greenland, it could control the Arctic sea route, protect its Pituffik base better, keep closer tabs on Russia. In a May 2025 press conference, when asked if he ruled out using force to secure Greenland, Trump replied, "I don't rule out anything. That means he's willing to do whatever it takes to prevent Russia and China from rising in the Arctic. If they succeed, the US could lose its global leadership. Greenland to Trump is a shield to maintain America's #1 position. So, what's the deal with Greenland and Denmark? Think of them as a foster parent and an adult child. Greenland is an autonomous territory under the Kingdom of Denmark since the 18th century. Denmark colonized it, but in 1979, Greenland gained home rule. By 2009, it had expanded self-governance and could even declare independence. Currently, it manages its internal affairs, but still relies on Denmark for defense and around $500 million in annual funding. Denmark sees Greenland as family, not for sale. Greenland wants independence, but doesn't yet have the financial strength to stand on its own. Trump openly stated his intent to buy Greenland in 2019. After his re-election in 2024, he brought the idea up again several times. However, both Greenland and Denmark strongly oppose the idea. Now, Trump is considering economic or military pressure. He has threatened tariffs on Denmark if they don't cooperate. But using military force to seize Greenland is highly unlikely because Denmark is a NATO ally. Attacking a NATO partner would spark a massive diplomatic crisis, weaken the alliance, and violate international law and Greenland's right to self-determination. A more realistic scenario: Trump could push for a compact of free association, like the one the U.S. has with some Pacific islands, e.g. the Marshall Islands. Greenland could remain independent or autonomous, but allow extensive U.S. military and economic access in exchange for aid and protection. This depends on Greenland declaring full independence from Denmark. The hardest part is money. Greenland relies too much on Denmark. But for the U.S., that's a minor issue. Washington could easily inject some funding to help Greenland break away, then bring it into America's orbit. That S, like moving money from your left pocket to your right, and still getting Greenland in the end. So, let's wait and see. Will Trump succeed in acquiring Greenland? Please like and subscribe for more videos in the future.